Hello and welcome to Cubs Baseball. It is April 12th of 1969, and the Cubs are continuing an 8-game homestand with Game 2 against the Montreal Expos. The Cubs took Game 1 in a 9-6 contest yesterday, and now they're coming back today looking to make it 2 for 2. The expansion Montreal Expos are going to send Bill Stoneman out to the mound to make his first start of the season. He will be supported by a cast of Maury Wills, Manny Mota, Rusty Staub, Don Clendenon, Bob Bailey, Marv Stale, Duffy Dyer, Jose Herrera, and Stoneman batting ninth. The Cubs are going to send their fifth starter out today, lefty Rich Nye, making his first appearance of the season. And he will have a lineup behind him of Kessinger, Williams, Santo, Hickman, Banks, Beckert, Hundley, Adolfo Phillips, and the pitcher Nye batting ninth. It is 48 degrees today. It has warmed up a few degrees in Chicago, and the wind is blowing out to center at 10 mph. So, let's see what today's game has in store for us. The Cubs' Rich Nye heading out to the mound to complete his warm-up pitches, and he is going to face off against the Expos' leadoff hitter Maury Wills. The Expos come in having a record of, well, we're not quite sure. I believe the Expos ground out to first as Maury Wills is retired to begin the game. That was a 1-1 fastball and a ground ball to Ernie Banks. And now Manny Mota is the batter. Nye facing Mota with one out, nobody on. Here's a 3-1 count, and the pitch popped up to center field. Adolfo Phillips heading to his left and making the catch for out number 2. Rusty Staub now the batter, 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 count to Staub. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with the sinker. So the Expos retired in order in the first. We go to the bottom of the first inning of a 0-0 ball game. Kessinger leading off for the Cubs against Stoneman. Here's a 1-2 count, and Stoneman with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Kessinger is struck out with a fastball at 91. And now Billy Williams is the batter. 1 out and nobody on. Full count pitch to Billy Williams. Strike 3 called, and Williams continues to struggle here in the early going. He strikes out looking on the fastball in the inside part of the plate. Santo now the batter, 2 outs, nobody on base, 2-0 count to Ron Santo. Liner past the first baseman into right field. Cubs have the first base hit of the game. Santo stops at first with a single, and that will bring up Jim Hickman. 2 outs, nobody on. Hickman facing Stoneman, 1-2 count. Strike 3 called outside part of the plate. That was a sinker, and Hickman just watched it sail by. So the Cubs get a base runner. They do not score. We go to the top of the second inning of a 0-0 ball game. Nye facing Clendenon to lead off the Expos half of the second. 2-2 count. Clendenon swings and misses at a curve. That was a big sweeping curveball, and he swung right over it. Bailey now batting, 1 out, nobody on. Nye facing Bailey with a 1-1 count, and there's a grounder to short. Kessinger has it, throws over to first for out number 2. Stale now the batter, 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 count, and Stale waiting for the pitch. Grounder to first. Banks scoops it up and steps on the base, and that is out number 3. So the Expos retired in order in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second, and Ernie Banks is going to lead off for the Cubs after having made the unassisted putout to end the previous half inning. Facing Stoneman with a 2-1 count. Banks grounder to first. The throw goes over to the pitcher covering the base, and that will be out number 1. Beckert now the batter, 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball count to Glenn Beckert. Grounder to short. Picked up, thrown over to first, and that will be out number 2. Hundley now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 count from Stoneman. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a curveball that was down and in. So Hundley strikes out to end the inning. We go to the top of the third of a scoreless ball game. Dyer will face Nye to lead off the Expos half of the third. Here's a 1-0 count and the pitch popped up on the infield. Beckert and Banks going over. Banks actually calls him off and puts it away for out number 1. Herrera now the batter, 1 out, nobody on, 1 strike count and the pitch. Lined into left field. Williams coming in, but he's going to play it on a hop. That is the first base hit for the Expos here in the top of the third inning. Nye now facing the pitcher Stoneman with 1 out, and 1 man on. Here's a 1-strike pitch, and the bunt is laid down. The pitcher has it. He throws over to first as that is out number 2. So the sacrifice is successful. Herrera advances to second, and now Maury Wills is going to be the next batter. 2 outs, runner on second, first pitch from Nye. Grounder to second. Beckett has it, throws over to first, and that will end the inning. So the Expos get a base runner. They do not score. We're going to the bottom of the third of a 0-0 ball game. Adolfo Phillips leading off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-strike count and the pitch to Phillips. Grounder to short. Picked up and thrown over to first, and that is out number 1. Nye now batting. 1 out, nobody on base, and a 1-ball count. Nye grounds it to short again. The throw goes over to first, and that is literally, the repetition is just working in the Expos' favor right here. Maury Wills is just a vacuum cleaner over there at short, picking everything up that comes his way. Kessinger now batting, 2 outs, nobody on base, 1-strike count, and the pitch. Liner over the third baseman in left field. That's going to be a 1-out single for Don Kessinger. So he is standing on first, and he'll bring up Billy Williams. 2 outs, 1 man on. Williams waiting for the 1-1 pitch. Liner into right field. That's another base hit. So the Cubs have a rally going here. Although runner around second heading for third. Kessinger with a alert base running play goes first to third as the Expos were slow to get that ball back into the infield. So Santo now comes up. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. And the Cubs trying to mount a 2-out rally here in the third inning. Santo grounds it to short. The throw goes over to second, and the runner is retired on a force to end the inning. So the Cubs get 2 runners. They do not score. We're going to the top of the fourth of a 0-0 ball game. Moda is going to face Nye to lead off the Expos half of the fourth. Here is the first pitch. Grounder to second. Beckert has it. Throws over to first, and that is out number 1. Nye facing Staub now with 1 out, nobody on. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Grounder back to the mound. The pitcher, Nye, picks it up, flips it over to first, but it is late. So an infield single for Rusty Staub, and that'll bring up Don Clendenin. 1 out, 1 man on. Staub standing on first. Here's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is a curve. Excuse me, that was a fastball. So Bailey now batting with 2 outs, 1 man on, and Staub, the runner, Bailey the batter, Nye on the mound, trying to get out of the fourth inning. 3-0 count, and here's the pitch. Ball 4 low. Bailey heads to first. Staub heads down to second. It'll bring up Marv Stale. 2 outs, 2 men on. Expos also trying to mount a 2-out rally here in the fourth. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Nye. Grounder, Beckert has it. Throws over to first, and that will retire the side. So the Expos get a couple of base runners. However, the inning ends without any scoring. Going to the bottom of the fourth, we have a 0-0 ball game. Jim Hickman is going to lead off against Stoneman here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-2 count. Hickman swinging and missing for strike 3. That was a sinker. And Stoneman now has strikeout number 5 on the day. Ernie Banks, the next batter. 1 out, nobody on. 0-2 count to Banks. And that's popped up left field. Banks just hit that one. Towering shot to right field, and it is caught for out number 2. Beckert now the batter, 2 outs, nobody on. Stoneman working with a full count to Glenn Beckert. Grounder up the middle, shortstop has it, throws over to first, and that will retire the side. We go to the top of the 5th of a scoreless ball game. Dyer facing Nye in the top of the 5th inning. Nye working with a 1-1 count and the pitch. Grounder to third, Santo picks it up, throws over to first, that is out number 1. Herrera now the batter, 1 out, nobody on. Herrera facing Nye, first pitch. And there is a sinker, and rain is beginning to fall. So we knew rain was in the forecast today, and it has started to rain very lightly here at Wrigley Field. Herrera facing Nye with a 1-1 count, and the pitch, grounder to second. Beckert picks it up, throws over to Banks, and that is out number 2. Stoneman now the batter, 2 outs, nobody on. Stoneman facing Nye with a 2-2 count and the pitch. Strike 3 called, and now Nye has 4 strikeouts in the game. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is a 0-0 ball game. Hundley batting for the Cubs against Stoneman here in the bottom of the 5th. Hundley facing with a 1-2 count, and that's a liner into left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So the Cubs have a lead-off single here in the bottom of the 5th. And that will bring up Adolfo Phillips. He is 6 for 11 on the season with 2 RBIs. Been hot in the early going for the Cubs, facing Stoneman. 1-2 count. Adolfo Phillips checks his swing, but he is rung up by the umpire. That was a slider, and that is strike 3. So Nye now batting with 1 out, 1 man on, and this looks like a situation where he is going to attempt to lay down a bunt. The bunt goes back to the pitcher, picks it up, throws over to first, and that is going to be out number 2. So the pitcher lays down the sacrifice, Hundley goes to second, and Don Kessinger is the next batter. 2 outs, 1 man on, 3-1 pitch. Popped up, left center field, coming over to make the play is Herrera, and he puts it away for out number 3. So the Cubs get a base runner. They do not score. We go to the top of the 6th inning of a 0-0 ball game. Maury Wills now batting for the Cubs, for the Expos here in the top of the 6th. Nye pitching for the Cubs. 2-2 count. And here it comes. Strike 3 called on the check swing, and Nye gets him for strikeout number 5 on the day. Manny Mota now the batter. 1 out, nobody on, 1 ball count. Nye with the pitch. Grounder up the middle, Nye scoops it up, throws over to first, and that is out number 2. Staub now batting against Nye. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 6th inning. Here's a full count with the pitch. Grounder up the middle, this time Beckert gets it. Throws over to first, and that will retire the side. The Expos go down in order in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning of a 0-0 game. Billy Williams is going to lead off against Stoneman here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-2 pitch. Williams pops it up right field. That's going to be playable, and it is caught for out number 1. Santo now batting with 1 out. Nobody on base. Full count pitch to Ron Santo. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Stoneman gets him on the changeup, and he has 7 strikeouts now on the day. Jim Hickman is the next batter. He's facing Bill Stoneman with 2 outs and nobody on. 3-1 count, and Hickman draws the walk. So that's a 2-out walk issued to Jim Hickman, bringing up Ernie Banks. 2 outs, 1 man on. First pitch to Ernie Banks, here it comes. Grounder to short. Picked up, thrown over to second. The lead runner is retired on the force, and the Expos get out of the inning. We go to the top of the 7th of a 0-0 game. And now the umpires are saying we are in a rain delay. So the game has been suspended due to bad weather and will be resumed at a later date. Hello everybody, it is now April 13th of 1969. The Cubs and Expos played a game that was suspended due to rain on the 12th. It is a 0-0 game in the 7th inning. And now this is going to be made up as the first half of a doubleheader against Montreal today. So we're going to be resuming this game in progress on Sunday, April 13th. We see that Rich Nye is on the mound for the Cubs, and he is going to be substituted. He was the pitcher of record when the game ended. However, because of the scenario that we are in, Nye is being substituted for Joe Decker. And the righty Decker is going to come in to face Don Clendenin in the top of the 7th inning of this game that we are currently resuming against the Expos. Now, Decker working with a 1-ball count, and here's the pitch to Clendenin. There's a grounder to first. Banks has it, steps on the base, and that is out number 1. Bailey now the batter. Decker working. First pitch, 1 out, nobody on. Lined into right field. I believe that's going to be a single, but it's a base hit that gets down in front of the right fielder, Hickman. And so the Expos have a runner on first and 1 out. Decker now pitching to Stale with 1 out, 1 man on. Here's a 2-2 count and the pitch from Decker. Grounder to second. Beckert has it. Flips to short. No relay, however, to first as the double play is broken up by Bailey at second base. So Dyer now batting with 2 outs and a runner on first. That'll be scored a fielder's choice for Marv Stale over at first. Here's a 1-1 count and the pitch from Decker. Lined into center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Adolfo Phillips has it. He gets it back into the cutoff man quickly. The runner's rounding third and heading home. The other runner heads down to third. So Stale scores, and the runner sliding into third is also safe. So Dyer credited with an RBI triple, and the Expos now have a 1-0 lead. Inability to turn the double play really killed the Cubs right there. So 1 run in for the Expos, a runner 90 feet away, and Jose Herrera, the center fielder, is the next batter. Decker facing Herrera with 1 runner on, 2 outs, and a 1-ball count. Here's the pitch. Grounder to third. Santo has it. Scoops it up, throws over to first, and that is out number 3. So the Expos score a run. We go to the bottom of the 7th of a 1-0 ball game. Jerry Robertson is going to be the new pitcher for the Expos. This is the first game he's appearing in this season. He is going to face Beckert, Hundley, and Phillips here in the bottom of the 7th inning. If anybody gets on, then the pitcher's spot will be due up 4th. So Robertson working. Here's the first pitch. Grounder to second. The throw goes over to first, and that will be out number 1. Hundley now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. 1-1 count to Randy Hundley. Popped up to center field. That will be in play, and it'll be caught for out number 2. Phillips now the batter, 2 outs, nobody on base. Adolfo Phillips, 0 for 2 today, facing Jerry Robertson, full count. And here is the pitch to Phillips. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so that's a strikeout for Phillips. He heads back to the dugout, and the inning is over. We go to the top of the 8th of a 1-0 ball game. Decker is going to face the pitcher Stoneman here in the top of the 8th inning. I don't understand how Stoneman is the pitcher when Robertson is currently listed as the pitcher. That is really strange. All right, so Decker facing Stoneman. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is a strikeout to lead off the inning, and it brings up Maury Wells. With 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 count from Decker. Here's the pitch. Grounder, liner right at Banks over at first. I thought he was going to play that on a hop, but he stepped up and made the catch for out number 2. Moda now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-ball count, and Manny Moda waiting for the pitch. Liner into left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. A 2-out single for Manny Moda out into left field, and it brings up Rusty Staub. 2 outs, 1 man on. Top of the 8th inning. Expos own a 1-0 lead. Decker working with a 1-ball count. And here's the pitch. Popped up, left center field. Williams heading over, Phillips heading over. Williams calls for it and makes the catch to end the inning. So the Expos get a runner, they do not score. We're going to the bottom of the 8th of a 1-0 ball game. And now the Cubs are going to send up a pinch hitter that is going to be the lefty Willie Smith for the pitcher's spot, leading off the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Expos will counter with a relief pitcher, righty Mudcat Grant. He has thrown 3 innings this year, allowed no walks, 1 strikeout, and an ERA of 12. So Smith facing Grant. Nobody out, nobody on. Looking for the sign, and here is the pitch. Grounder toward short. Scooped up and thrown over to first, and that will be out number 1. Kessinger now batting. Switch hitting Kessinger steps in from the left side against the righty Grant. Here's a 1-strike count, and the pitch to Kessinger. And that will be a grounder toward the mound. The pitcher picks it up, throws over to first, and that is out number 2. So the Cubs are going to warm up a reliever right here. It is going to be the righty Archie Reynolds, who is going to try to protect the 1-run deficit in the top of the 9th inning. Grant facing Williams. Billy Williams coming up with 2 out, 2-2 count, nobody on base, and here's the pitch. And Williams tattoos that one. Deep right field, it is gone. We have a tie ball game in Chicago. Billy Williams, 389 feet, just tied this game up with his first home run of the season. Williams pulled that one right down the right field line, and that is going to precipitate a warm-up for Phil Regan. Ron Santo is the next batter. He is going to come up with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-1 count to Ron Santo with the pitch. Hit straightaway center field, going back, warning track to the wall, and the ball is caught for out number 3. So Santo gave that one a ride, but he came up just a bit short in straightaway center field. But the Cubs, however, tie this game up at 1. So Archie Reynolds is going to come in to pitch for the Cubs, and Phil Regan is going to be on standby in case if anything happens. Now, the Expos are going to send up a pinch hitter. Left-handed Mac Jones is going to pinch hit against the new Cub reliever, righty Archie Reynolds. Reynolds has thrown 3 2/3 innings this year, 3 strikeouts, and an ERA of 0. So Reynolds facing Jones to lead off the top of the 9th inning. Here is the first pitch from Reynolds. Lined into right field, Hickman heading over. He plays it on a hop, and he seems to always like to play back a little bit and not necessarily run up on those balls. So Jones has a leadoff single here for the Expos in the top of the 9th, and it'll bring up Bailey. Nobody out. Runner on first. Bailey is 1 for 2 today, and here's a full count and the pitch. Liner right at the shortstop, Kessinger. He throws over to first, and is that going to double the runner off? Yes, it does. That is a line drive double play. That is an excellent defensive effort by Don Kessinger. So the Cubs get a line drive double play, and now there are 2 outs and nobody on. And Reynolds still pitching, is going to, at this point, give way to the closer, Regan, who's going to face the lefty, Marv Stale, here in the top of the 9th inning. So Regan coming in as the new pitcher for the Cubs. 2 outs, nobody on. Regan facing Stale. 1-1 count. And here comes the first pitch. Grounder towards second. Beckert picks it up, throws over to first, and that is out number 3. So, the Expos do not score. We go to the bottom of the 9th of a 1-1 ball game. Jim Hickman facing Mudcat Grant here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hickman, 0 for 2 today, looking for his first home run of the season. 1-2 count. Hickman waiting for the pitch. Liner into center field. I believe that's going to get down for a base hit. So Hickman has a leadoff single for the Cubs. And now Hickman is on first. Ernie Banks is the next batter. Hickman is not exactly Speedy Gonzalez over there at first. We're going to see a pinch runner, which is going to be, oh, not James Burnett. It's going to be Blatt. Blatt is going to pinch run for Hickman, and he will stay in the game in right field in the eventuality that this would go on to extra innings. So Banks facing Blatt with nobody out, the winning run on first. Banks, 1-1 count, waiting for the pitch. Here it comes. Popped up right field, gonna be playable, and it is caught for out number 1. So that is going to bring up Glenn Beckert with 1 out, 1 man on. Beckert, and we see that the Cubs are actually going to call a hit and run right here against Mudcat Grant. So here is the first pitch to Beckert. That's a liner up the middle. That's going to be another base hit. However, the runner paused. I don't know if he thought that was going to be caught. Eventually, though, Blatt hustles all the way to third after not even knowing if the ball was going to be a line drive out. Beckert gets a base hit. The runner goes first to third, and now Randy Hundley is the batter. With 1 out and runners on the corners, Cubs have the winning run 90 feet away. Hundley facing Grant. Here's an 0-2 count and the pitch, and a grounder to third. He picks it up, and there's no throw to first. Was that going to be charged as an error? I don't even know, but Hundley gets an infield single apparently, and it drives in the winning run from third. So, the Cubs get 2 runs on 8 hits, while the Expos get 1 run on 6 hits. The Cubs improved to 2-3, while the Expos dropped to 1-4. Phil Regan gets the win. He recorded the 3rd out in the 9th inning. Mudcat Grant drops to 0-2, blowing the save. He threw 1 1/3, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, and a solo shot. So Grant suffers the loss and the blown save. And the player of today's game is actually the Cubs' Rich Nye, who went through 6 scoreless innings, certainly deserved to win the game. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. So thank you for watching Cubs baseball.